So thank you very much. Therefore, may Allah reward you and will benefit more in you, those in Yafo that can keep and still put in effort to make sure that they follow up whatever is happening. And if the voice is low, you keep coming closer. You keep coming closer. You don't mind even if you come and sit here. For us, we are learning. We are learning, and we can consider the environment. We try to be so liberal and ask Allah to make it easy for us, inshallah. So, at least everybody might be knowing the topic of today, which is about how we spend in Allah's way. How we spend in Allah's way. In a few minutes I will be with you. I would be doing a disservice to you if I don't introduce myself to you. So number one, I will introduce myself to you. I will introduce myself to you with an intention to know that you are in a better position than some of us who are seated here in front of you. So I'm going to come up with my CV specifically that targets you. I might be having, for us where we are, and when you start applying, but yours will be uniform, it will be just a one CV. But me, when I am putting a CV, let's say recently I put my CV to Judicial Service Commission. I am their consultant in media. These 18 legal ministries, organizations in Uganda. Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Uganda Police, High Court, all those, they are 18. Which they are under the umbrella of jealousy. It's called jealousy. But specifically, I went through a Judicial Service Commission. So that CV may not be the same, like a CV I would put in Saudi Embassy may be seeking for something else. So you have to direct the CV basing on what you want. You find at times that there is someone who CV, like us, who are aged, who are living this world, you might be having a wider one. So you may present a CV somewhere, you don't get what you are aiming at. Yet, it's a matter of how you direct the CV. So, whatever I'm going to tell you about myself will be targeted to you students. Will be targeted to you students. Then number two, you are an academician. You are academicians. I have a feeling that at least you know what means giving. Even if you don't know, you know the third pillar of Islam. You know it. At least whoever is here at Islamic University in Uganda, by background, by the environment, that one you know. I felt that it would be better, you people, the academicians, to give you an experience, the experience we have, what we have encountered in this work of encouraging people to give. That would be better for you than starting quoting ayahs and hadith here, which I'm very sure you know much than me. So at least number two, after my introduction, I will do at least part of the experience towards giving in others' way. Then number three, I will wind up. I will completely wind up with a few statements focusing on a greater virtue. Then we will conclude our work. Straight away, my brothers and sisters, I first thank you for your courage of being here Many of you are not here, are doing other work. Those who had tried and COVID came in, they took other routes. Others went for Kadama worker. They are in Saudi Arabia, they are elsewhere. So many people dropped after senior 6. And to some of them, not necessarily that they didn't have support or finance to proceed with the academic. Others just could louse around, rush into early marriages. We tell you go and get married, but proceed with your education. Some institutions might be flexible for that. And I know even here, if you go through right channel, you will get it rough. When you go in a wrong channel, you will be looking for us to come and plead for you when we can't. The laws here are very straight. So, that one, thank you very much. Proceed, we encourage you to proceed. Education, as far as we are concerned, it's the way for civilization. If you want to be uncivilized, just drop education. But if you want to be civilized, let's proceed with our education. I'm sure we will win. Straight away, I'm Abdul Karim Kaliisa. My education wasn't too much, just the education that would make me be near the educated ones like you. Interestingly, I would mention something about my P7 and joining the secondary school. I would say that the school where I was the worst. I got the worst aggregates. That's what I would put on the side of education to start with. And for the interest of you who think that they failed, if I tell you mine, you will even clap for yourself. I was just here, up here, Chibuli Senior Secondary. Where are they? They are here. This is the road leading to Chibuli Secondary. You see, roads have changed. You go down here and proceed. That's where I had my education, Senior 1. But when I entered at Chibuli, in my area where I came from, very far, even from my mother area in Barara, I came from those hills of Kabale. That's where I started my primary. My sister was married that side, so I happened to proceed and studied from there. Our dad died when we were very, very young, so we were assisted by our brothers and sisters who were a bit old. So when I went to see and pick, because by that time communication was very difficult, results would come out, you take a month without knowing what you got. That was the area. To go and pick my results, a bicycle was put on the top of a bus. I boarded a bus, knowing that somewhere a bus will stop somewhere and ride a bicycle until I reach where I was supposed to get my results. But before reaching there, like half a kilometer, it was around this time, I found my primary. They were at the pitch playing football with all the teachers. After getting news that I have arrived, even the match was stopped. The Muruka chief had to converge to come and see someone who won the whole Saza. I was the best in all schools of the area. And it was in history, nobody had got such aggregates. It was Muruka chief who had to put me at his shoulder. They took me up straight on the hill where we have a very big church. They had to beat the other drum, call people to converge and have a special prayer for what I got. But my aggregates were 21. It was 21, and next to me had 35. The rest had 36. 999, emienda jamuyita emienda. That's how far we came. So arriving here in Kampala, I was boosting, knowing that I'm the best. We entered into Senior 1. Those who have gone through Chibuli, you know Senior 1 North, Senior 1 West, Senior 1. Abbas Mukasa was so kind to put me in North. Because East and West, they were a bit they could grade us basing on our marks. They say, no, these ones are a bit, let's put them in one north. These ones, let's put them in one east. So I was put in one north, maybe for some people whom I can come closer to. My first day in class, in my life, I had not seen people maybe of my age speaking English. It was my first time to see them speak English. Very sharp. I kept quiet. I could keep quiet until we... So the first day, I think on the third day, a teacher came in briefly, English teacher. We started introducing ourselves. She was so kind. I was just behind there. When they reached, I forgot even my names because of quaking. I even forgot my names. She told me, settle down, settle down. Let us proceed. So, when I say it, you could mention the one you got in English. I said I got 6 in English. Remember, these students, all of them were saying 4, 5. English 1. Aggregates 5. One mentioned 12, they all laughed after him. Me, I have 21. I said, now, these people, they're after what now? Should I run? What can I do at this particular minute? I said 21. Students shouted at me, and the teacher was a bit so touched. She was touched, quaking. She even stopped asking me more questions. We proceeded. I said, after term 1, I will not come back. I will disappear completely. Even if they come back, bring me back by force, I will just go to the bush. How can I study with these intelligent students? I have to go back where I came from. I go and study my secondary. I don't mind about jiggers, because even putting shoes, they bought shoes when I was boarding a bus coming to Kampala. I never put in shoes in my life. Never. But by the time I reached Kampala, our buses could start our journey at 7 in Barara, reach here at around 7 in the evening. I don't know what was happening with the roads. I don't know whether the buses were slow, but it could take the whole day. I reached in Kampala when I was holding my shoes in my hands like this. I'm not used to that. That is the way we have come far. None of you here that will tell that experience. So we always want to tell you such a few experiences. Reports came out. I had to sit under the tree. These young boys dressed in jeans could come speaking English, going to director. We had a very tough director, a director of studies, Bashungwa. He could pick their reports and go. I kept under the tree there, knowing that I'm last. We were 75 in class. He knew I'm picking my report. I'm 75th, just to pick my canes and go back home. At around midday, I had to go straight to the office. He knew me because he had taught my brother who was at the university by then. Yes, Kaliisa, you opened, pulled my report, have your report. I went back under the tree, looking at my report, I was 14. Out of 75, I said, now this Baganda, I'm going to hit them. I've got a direction now. So I had started picking confidence. By the time we reached senior 4, we had what we call kawazi. We had, during our days, we had too much kawazi at school. So at senior 4, you could have a part of anti-kawazi. If you reach in senior 4, you are still available, you are around. For us in our stream, we were 11. No any stream that could be having the anti-kawazi that exceed 20. But ours were 11. We sat 11 of us in senior 4. And we had our part of anti-kawazi. That's how we proceeded in our education level. Seeing what was happening at Chibuli, I insisted. I went to Gombe. They refused to give me my results, that I should go back to Chibuli. I said, no, Chibuli, enough is enough. Let me go. At least a school that is a bit far from town. I could get people that I would really enjoy with. They refused to give me my results, that I should come back for HSC. I went to Gombe to ask a vacancy to study in Gombe. He's called Basajanaku. He was a commissioner recently in the Ministry of Education. I don't know whether you know him. Badru Bagwa said, I want to join Senior 5. He said, where are your results? Said, they have rejected my results. They have not given them to me. He said, come back here on Friday. It was around Wednesday. He came himself, picked my results. Going back to Gombe, he had my results and admission. Studied at Gombe. I happened to be the chairman of Muslims. It's called Gomusa. We did whatever we could do. That's why I encourage you people who are not wasting your time. The little time you sacrifice to lead your fellow students, to guide them, to speak on their behalf, you will never regret. That time will be paid. This one I can assure you. We did our work. We expanded our mosque at Gombe. We started a magazine. We did a great job as the chairman. And even administration gave me a responsibility that even a teacher could not. Because I used to give a pass out. You come, I give a pass out, you go through the gate and go back home, which head boy couldn't, and so on and so forth. Why? You must know why they could entrust me with that. Yet I was just a chairman of Muslims, chairman of Gomusa. I finished Gombe, joined Makerere University. When I reached at Makerere, in my first year, I told my colleague that let us rule university. Let's head this university. He said we can't. He was too aggressive. He was so energetic, very eloquent. He was called Opoka James. He died. He was killed by Kone. Opoka James, I told him we should lead this university. He said we can't. He said this university is led by people from Budo, from Chiburi, from Namiryango. Ntare schools, not Gombe of ours. I said, please, let's lead it. He said, let's go on. I told him you are going to be the guild president. He said, no, it's you to be. I told him that here, it's not simple. The issue of being a Muslim here at Makerere University looks queer by that time, and the numbers were still small. And ABCD. So, by such a qualities, I may not go through, but you. He said, where shall we get money? We need a lot of money to go through here. I said, I will look for money. And you also look for money. We contested and went through. And in the process, we had rejuvenated, we had revived. For us, we didn't know that it was there before. The Musao, Muslim Students Association of Uganda. We had, I was elected as by this association, this organization, UMIA. They organized the students from other institutions, so we had to put an umbrella body. So I was elected chairman. By the time we won at Makerere University, I was already a president in Musau. I said, now Opoka, we are through, proceed. He said, it's you who brought me in this. If you don't be my vice president or the minister for finance, I will go to jail. I said, okay, what can we do? So I had to join. I had to know that minister. I had not read the constitution of Makerere. I saw the minister of finance having a lot to do. I decided to be the vice guild president. Not knowing that vice had a lot of responsibilities by that time. A lot of responsibilities. So I joined. I got enough experience and got enough money and resources to push Musau. I can assure you that in our 1 year, we came out with constitution, we came out with strategies and opened bank accounts. We had a delegates conference by the time we handed over, and we left on account some millions of money and even an account to pay an administrator. So all that, I give a credit to the position I had at Makerere as vice president, because I had an official car, I had my secretaries, I had all the powers. I could sit at the university council, could sit at the admissions, not admissions, the accommodation committee. The admission is Senate. That one, students don't sit there. It's the honorary committee where students are not involved. How do you go and admit yourself and assess what you did in exams. But as you see the guilds here, they might be sitting on various committees, structures of the university. So I got a huge experience, and the same experience I could push it to association. Then my life, in short, ended from there. I will not tell you what we did. Much of being, okay, let me tell you this for your experience. To put a statement which my colleague put that I don't join him, he will go to jail. Within our second term, for us we used to have 3 terms, he had been objected by almost 3 main halls of Makerere University. That's Lumumba, Northcourt, and Nkrumah. They had rejected him, and he could not go there for any function. Any function that would be there, they would invite me as the vice president. In the same term, we were invited by the administration, Makerere University administration, especially the management, that is the vice chancellor, university secretary. There are 5 academic registrar. Those are the management. We sat, 2 of us. They said, hand over all your signatures to your vice president, or we embarrass you. That was the statement of management. You either hand over all the signatures on all accounts of the guild to your vice, or we embarrass you. What does it mean? My name was better in the administration than his. Why? I will not explain until these people calls me in another forum. I tell you that experience. There is a lot to learn. Now, we had a lot of money. By that time, the government, that was 93, 94, government used to give us 40 million per term. 40 million of that time, some of you I think were not born, maybe nursery, maybe I don't know. It was huge money. That was the time when the government had dropped 3 zeros. That money was almost equivalent to dollars. But government, under the Prime Minister's office, Elia Kategaya, they used to give us 40 million. The guild canteen used to yield in a week not less than 10 million. Omwenge, beach, food, gasia, a lot. It was a huge guild. And from Wednesday up to Sunday, that guild canteen used to bring the musicians. Our mosque, where it is today, the old one is still there, those who go to Makerere, and the guild canteen was some, I think they have put some buildings across, but at a distance. However much we could put a loudspeaker in our prayer, and the bidongo are going on, or the music dancers are there, we could not listen to anything. But to hear is there anybody who has ever entered into disco? It's shaking, as if it is coming out. That's what we could feel when we were in Swala. So, we had a lot of money. So, one of the things I did as a vice guild president, by the time I handed over, I had stopped the guild canteen. These Angenois you hear, the silk, were nothing to Makerere. The bus would start entering Makerere on Wednesday, around midday. They enter up to midnight. From Bari, from where? So that's where they could go for enjoying, for dancing. It was the center in this country. Not this silk you are hearing of today. They were not there. Those that were there were weaker as compared to that one of Makerere. So, one of my achievements, I know, the social affairs minister could come to my office around Monday, present the budget, to sign. You know what I'm signing? I'm signing for these rolls of barrel beer, 15 of them to enter Makerere University. I'm signing to those, the sound, the music, and so on and so forth. Millions make million sound. I signed, but I told my boss, no, go on, stop them. Because for him, he was eating money. He was doing all the work of the university. His was money. So, I could see they bring their requisition, finance minister, social affairs minister. I go to my lectures, I go to meetings, I go to town. The following day, Wednesday, I'm still busy. I haven't seen. Where have you put this? Go and change. Wednesday, the Bidongo and the Perolaga are not entering the university. Until I could sabotage and they enter on Saturday. So with the time, it disappeared completely. And we sat as executive. We abolished such a things to be in the university, and we were supported by administration. Number two, why you should be in these things. Kwa muri mu ssomero lya Busiraamu era mwe mulina bye musobola okukyusa n'okukolera bannammwe. At least Makerere, I made sure that with those deans, we start introducing iftar and Sokol at night. Those who are not there at Makerere University, you come and dine with other people, get food. If you want to keep it, if you don't want, you wait until you break your fast. We did that, but doing all that to make sure that you penetrate into such a system, you have to mind about your discipline, how you take your elders, how you respect them, how you speak to them. That one matters. After seeing you that you are down on earth, whatever you bring to them, they had stopped for the last guild president never to go abroad again. What I did, I went to the vice chancellor after getting my trip to Italy. I said, assist me get a passport. I'm not using university funds, but if you want, allow me represent the university, but no funding. Or else I go on my own. I'm fully funded. He said, is there any organization that can fund someone at 100%? Those things are not there in other people. But you find in our Islamic circles, they are common. That was World Islamic Society. I came back and presented a report to the Vice Chancellor, which he presented to the Council and said that not every guild president we have is bad. What he has done, without any coin, we have never received such a report. These are the universities in Italy. He has crossed to Tripoli. He has done everything, and even we are going to get a fund here. Even they had to reinstate the guild president to go abroad just to put various measures such that they don't embezzle the university funds. It is such a discipline, the character, that makes you convince such a people. Do you have that character? Is it noticeable to your administrators? These people you see here, they might be, to some of you, look lousy, look as if they don't mind, but these people have gone through the system where you are. They have seen it all. They have experience. They have even multiple experiences as far as we are concerned. So, you students leaders who are here, thank you very much. We usually want to bring in such an experience to comfort you, those who feel that you are badly off, but things can change when you are consistent and you mind about what you are. Me, I know I succeeded in my education, that I wasn't clever, I wasn't intelligent, I know myself, but I could get areas where you know that I will concentrate on this. First, I'm going to get organized. This one, I'm going to beat everybody in my organization. And I will make sure that in everything I do, I'm always first. I'm always first in class. I will be first in the dining. I will be first in the library. Those things that I could afford. If they come, a teacher comes in the class, start saying, please close your books, now spell. I think those things are in primary. For us, we are doing them in senior 2 and senior 1. Spell checking comes, write a book, a pen, pencil, photosynthesis, 10 words, you mark yourselves. We used to go through that. I know I'm poor in that, but there are some areas that I could be best. Within first term, my consistency, within first term in senior 1, who I was, the English teacher had appointed me to be the class monitor of English. Why? She had started seeing me somewhere. That day, she came in class, lastly, then I go on part 2. She came in class and said, I gave us some 10 words to write and spell. Now, there was a word I will never forget: psychology. Psychology. Who can spell for us the word psychology? S-Y, C-word. Given the fact that I was staying with the senior 3 and senior 4s, we didn't have power that night, and they were teasing themselves. That word came. Me being in senior 1, my elder brother was a prefect, had to sneak me in. He did not put me to zoo where senior 1 sleep. I was with those matures, hiding under my bed. I got it. Now, after failing like 3, 4, nobody's putting up the hand, I had to put mine. When I put my hand up, the class had to clap. They had to laugh. So when I started with the P, they laughed. Psychology start with P. Then the teacher said, please wait, listen. From today, I have appointed him. Even if you have a class monitor, he's going to be my English class monitor. I started to go to staff room, rubbing shoulders with teachers. Basanga banywaka chai nakuwako. Start picking. I've never gone back. I know what I got being a class monitor, just a mere subject, not the whole class. That's why I motivate and encourage these leaders, specifically who are doing this work of dawah, that you will never regret at all. Number 2, maybe as part of that, how did I migrate just a few areas in the working environment? The working environment. Like him, like he has been following me to bring me here, I went to World Islamic Society to ask for the sponsorship of the delegates conference. We were in 3rd year, I want to hand over. Now, when I reached there, Secretary General was Sebuliba, he died. I told him I'm the chairman of Muslim students in this country. And at the same time, I am Vice Guild President of Makerere. He immediately called an Arab who is a director, Ali Belez, introduced me to him. He said that it was Tuesday. They said on Thursday we are going to Italy first. Then, how do I reach there? It is the ticket he has that made me reach there, representing my fellow students. Now reaching there, they say we are going to sponsor. We shall give you some money, but again, go and bring your passport. We take you to Italy for 2-3 weeks. Then you proceed to our country, Libya. I said I don't have a passport. He said, oh, sorry. I told him, but let me try and see if I can get a passport with those remaining 2 days. In fact, it was 1 day. He said, no, you can't get it because you have been trying to renew passports. I remember he was a sheikh, the former Supreme Mufti, who died. There were around 3 elders, sheikhs, whom they were renewing their passports and they had failed. They said, you can't get a passport. So let me try. I had to go back to Makerere, asked my vice chancellor that I want a passport. He called Tom Butime. I don't know whether Tom Butime might be one of the aged ministers of President Museveni. Called Tom Butime. He was the Internal Affairs Minister, sitting at President Towers. He said, I'm sending my guild president. He wants ABCD. So let him come with 2 photos. Went down, picked my photos. Had to rush to President Towers, reaching at the secretary. Secretary says, okay, I'm Kaliisa. He didn't even let me enter to the minister. Picked a phone, called one of the officials, came with a file, said, sign here. Where are the photos? They are here. You just sign here. He went back. In less than 15 minutes, I had my passport. In an hour, I went back to Kororo. Secretary General picked my passport, had to run to the office of an Arab. The passport is just said Chichukuri. It has never been Chichukuri. Now he called Haruna Sinyongova and so on and so forth. Said, how can you people fail to bring just to renew a passport? Yet this one can get a new passport. What type of people are you? Why? I have a responsibility somewhere I'm doing the work of da'wah, and once you do da'wah, Allah makes things for you easier. Once you do da'wah with the good intention, Allah makes everything for you easy. That one, just have it at the back of your mind and keep quiet. Do things with the good intention. Do things without pleasing anybody. But what does it say? What can I do, my fellow students? What can I do here? What does Allah say? You proceed and do the work of da'wah. You will never regret. Da'wah cuts across. You might be the chairman of the faculty of maybe somewhere, maybe law. You think that one is not da'wah. No, it's da'wah. It's da'wah. Do you know what is happening in Qatar? You may find that these huge billions of dollars they have put in, you may find that, I don't know, you may find that they have that intention of da'wah. We must put Islam number one. How should we look when we fail in such a thing? That's also a type of da'wah. 1 day, 2 days back, the conversion to Islam had moved to 500. You never know by end of this week. People are saying Shahada every minute. And those Bazungus are very keen. They watch, they internalize. When they come up to do something, really they are sure of what they are going to do. So, it's da'wah. I encourage you, whatever you do, don't think that these ones who are in da'wah secretariat are the only people doing da'wah. No. Even if you are heading a geography class, you are heading know that whatever you are doing, just do what Islam say, and you are doing it in favor of Islam as a Sharia guides. So, my fellow brothers and sisters, that's how I crossed and started working, joined Libyans. When we came back from Libya, we had a very big delegates conference of muftis from 29 countries. That was in 95, here at the International Conference Center. They had to invite me. I was at Makerere. They said, please come and take our minutes. I came and took my minutes, sat with my secretaries at the university. They had to type the minutes. Took my minutes there. When they read, from the time they had formed the union, from 1886 up to 95, they had never seen such a document. When you are doing anything, do it perfectly. I'm talking to intelligent people. I don't want to keep turning things into that is swadaka, that is what. Just listen. Listen. You will go change it to person. We want to leave this everything in your hands. We are gone. Most of you here, you are my grandchildren. So that's how, after giving them, they called me. Lucky enough, I had handed over, concentrating at my education. They said, this is your office. You are going to be the administrative secretary of East Central and Southern Africa. Olwo nga sigenda kuva mu nnyonyi. Buli mwezi ndi ku nnyonyi nkola ki? Abamu bali awo tebalootanga kuna kulinnya nnyonyi. I'm still a student. Ne mbagamba bannange, I'm too busy. I wasted a lot of time. I need to concentrate for this 6 months with my books. They said, read your books, but your office is here. Do whatever you want. When you get time, come to your office. It will wait for you. Now I have started work. If you have a student mbivuddemu, in short. Kasivi kampi, mbalonderamu ebyammwe. Biri mwagala ebyokuwa ina ninja tubabuulira, in short. So, we did our best. Now entering into these sheikhs, قال الله سبحانه وتعالى, I will not afford that. I looked at the way they do their work. It's a bit complicated. Things are not tallying. I think after 2 years, I left, joined the Greenland Bank. Said bye. I've joined the Greenland Bank. So at joining Greenland Bank, I worked there for 1 and 8 months. It was closed. We stayed there at Old Kampala, seeing what the policemen and soldiers are doing at Greenland Bank. At around 11, I had to walk slowly, no border borders, no what, very few cars in the town by that time. For us, we enjoyed a bit. No single border. There is a Mzungu who is riding the border. So I moved through Golf Coast to Kororo. Jova Toyombie. No, Kaboka Mwarawano, nobody started Uganda. How could I go back after knowing that where I ran to, it is closed? But as I was going to Chisas, where I used to reside, said, Kampiteko ku office, Acacia, Mbabuzeko. When I was at the bank, they used to send a messenger. In the evening, they give me things I draft for them, documents going to these countries. Whatever they could want, I could do at night, even if it takes my 3 hours. The messenger could come in the morning, go and take the work, so I did not stop assisting them. But you, the industry you are entering to, you reach there. By the time you leave the job where you are working, everything is in a shambles. Nobody wants to greet you. You don't want to speak to your supervisor. It's not that way. Me, I said bad. Reaching there around midday, Secretary General, whom I left, said, called the other Arab. Kaliisa no, the Arab asked me, how much have they been paying you? I told 270. 270, he told the Secretary General, pay him 350. That real minute, when my colleagues are suffering, they don't have even transport to take them back home, because when you are working with the bank, you don't move with money. It's just to click on your computer and get the money you want. Just to get transport to go back home. Come back tomorrow. You withdraw another 1,000, you go back home. So we didn't have money. It was closed inside there. Transport by that time, 200, 300, 700 sharing there. And again, okay, you may think that 350 was little money. Now the seniors on me of that time, these ones, like a few might ever heard about Hassan Chiria. It was so common, especially when sheikhs were killed. Sheikh Jamiru may not be common to you, but he's one of the seniors. And they studied in Libya, Sheikh Twaha Katunguru. You see? So they were getting 120. Those seniors on me, the sheikhs who studied even in Libya, were getting 120. The Arab man decided to give me 350. Went back in the office, brought a key to give me an official car. An Arab to give you an official car. People are working in the embassy, they cannot drive. You go and check on Ugandans. Gave me an official car of a Cressida. Drive, go back home tomorrow. But before you go, Nusrat Pero, Honorable Nusrat Pero, you know him, is now an ambassador. She's the one who had been trying my office. They called her, please Nusra, you have been allocated another office. You are going to be the secretary for women. The owner of the office is back. Ask yourself how you leave an organization and where you ran to. Not that you have left them, just come back. It is only that has been closed. Me, even in Alimuswav, I did not come back to ask that I work again, just to greet them and you go. But because of the character, behavior, and how you conduct yourself, and it starts from here where you are. Don't think that you will start with where you are, the working place. It starts with you here. The way you are disturbing your colleague, the way you are disturbing the lecturers, the way you are disturbing your fellow student leaders, it will follow you wherever you are going. However much you try to adjust, these are the people you will be with in the field. The worst thing which you are experiencing at the level where you are, you may think that you are still near us, who are aged, who left school long time ago, like 30 years ago. You just meet someone on the street, muli bakadde, ayina envi, ayina abazzukulu nti ono yali mubbi, ono yali anganywa akawunga. It keeps on your mind. So whatever you are doing here, it will follow you. And these are the fellow students, your fellow colleagues, that even will be signing at your appointment letter. You don't have the same chances. Some of you will shoot straight away. You'll be the company secretaries. You'll be so and so. You are the one to sign at the appointment letters. Character matters. And it starts from behind, but it can start now. See how you behave with your colleagues. In fact, you better behave better with your colleagues than your lecturers. Those are far from you. You may never meet them again, but these are the colleagues that you will be working together in the same industries. That's why we encourage you, please, the relationship among yourselves matter. It matters a lot. So that's how I regained my job. And as I wind up, knowing that I left them, these are the sheikhs I left, the mode of work, the administration, the management, said, now what can I do? That's how I developed an idea of starting a radio station, such that is within my line, though it will be doing dawah, but I will be doing my professionalism in a radio. That's Voice of Africa. That's how we started Voice of Africa. When I went back, these are the same team I left here. What can I add? What value can I add at this organization? By that time, we had around 4 radio stations: Simba, CBS, Sanyuka. There were a few radios. Voice of Africa is among the first 5 radio stations to be started in this country. We have now more than 300 radio stations all over the country. There are so many, but at least Voice of Africa. And it was the first radio to reach far. The farthest reach radio for some good years, like 5 years before other radios joined, like CPS, Maria Radio, because we had 5 transmitters. This one at Kororo, Busembatia, and Mbali. A repeater means another full-fledged radio, but without a studio. But whatever a radio has, a frequency, license, and so on and so forth. So it's a full radio, but we call it a repeater to amplify and push further the information and reach where we need it. This side, we had a repeater in Masaka, another radio, Voice of Africa in Masaka, and we had another one in Barara. So we could cover the big part of Tanzania, big part of Kenya, the whole of Rwanda. Then we proceed, we cross Choga and some other hilly areas in north. It was almost covering the country. That was Voice of Africa. Then we use we, but for the interest of what I want you to pick, I would say I. Because of what we came up with, the proposal, the Sheikh said we can't afford this. Lucky enough, I was given a chance when the Secretary General of World Islamic Society was in Malaysia. So we joined him there. I got a chance. He was a very intelligent man. Immediately he said they release money for these people. Around $60,000 we started Voice of Africa. So it is the office I sat in until I started doing my own work. I said, now this is the radio for Muslims. It has been started. Let me go now. We start Radio Par. Started Radio Par. Said now Par is moving. Now let's go and start an Islamic television. We started Islamic television, Salam TV. Now I'm seeing I'm aging. I want to leave everything to these energetic Muhsins who are there. And now I say, let me start a charity. I go and die from there. I have never been interviewed. I've never given any paper, any CV. I have never picked my transcript at Makerere University. Still there. I don't need it. Nobody has ever asked me. And by our time, they used to stay there for some time. We don't go and pick it immediately. Try analog, born before computer. It's not digital like you. Just on the first day of graduating, you have it. Otherwise, you could take some good month, go and pick your transcript at Makerere. But I've never picked it. This I saw an announcement in the papers that now it is easier. Come and pick your transcript. Whoever missed it, I want to go there. I don't know where to start from, but my colleague I studied with is the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Professor Kakumba. I will go in his office and sit. I tell abantu we were GMP. nze nkyegayiriza awo twavaawo. When I come here, I don't waste time with you. I will go in the rector's office. I sit. We talk at the same length. We speak. I've been in Makkah. I had to board and see the former rector, visit him, sleep with him, Dr. Sengedo. We speak at the same level. Now there is a project I'm working with him. This one, you see the goats we are giving to imams. I'm working it out with him. So that is it. I can't suffer. I will go and sit, take tea, it will find me there. Even the registrar will come where I will be. So how do you reach at that level? A man who came to Kampala holding the shoes in the hand. Banga bazimpa edigere nebyocha nebyefumba nga mpulira omuliro gwagala. I never used shoes up to P7, but now I can put on. Ejenyamba leyo tekaddiwa 10 years. Nebo gisale yezaawo. Season ezaawo no loyo no zayambala. I know it. This is pure. Now I can do whatever I want. Not boasting. So that is something I wanted you people, you share from us. I told you that you are an academician. I'm not a sheikh. I can get them, I can Google here, I can read them. Hadith, even if they are 20, hadith of giving, I can Google here, I get them, I give them to you. For what? You know them, you have heard about them. Nengo busiramu tugamba jukiza okujukiza kugasani omukiriza. So by that I encourage you to be in students movement. If you want to do your proper sadaka, manage whatever you can, you have to start with the students movement. Banga lyomalanga wesamba students movement. However small an association is, joined in those meetings, you can't remain the same. So briefly, the experience about sadaka. The experience in charity work. That's the part I want you to listen attentively. Very attentively. I want to listen to this experience. Sadaka in this country has been a bit complicated. That's how it has been. And that's how it is continuing to be. But we are saying that we need to inculcate a system into our communities to make sure that these handouts that we are always waiting for from Arabs, which is changing at a terrible speed, must be feeling it here at this university. The scholarships we are receiving these days from Arab world must be as compare, and what we are receiving these days, so it is reducing at a terrible speed. For us at Salam Television, ours is to build a culture of giving, to sensitize our communities. That's our noble cause number one at Salam Television. Salam Television is a development TV. You come at my office, it's rare to find me having a pen and a pencil writing a project proposal to be sent outside. Mine is to create ideas how to make Ugandans use the little resources they have or big resources in whatever they want and do it. And in our research, I can assure you that we have come to conclusion that Ugandans have capacity to put such a huge, magnificent buildings without asking a coin abroad, but done by Ugandans. So that is the major work of Salam Television, to make sure that we do that. How did it start? It started in an informal way, by experience. I was in my office at Par FM. Those who come from Entebbe side might have seen or heard about Rubugumu Masjid. So a team of the committee in charge of construction at Rubugum came to look for adverts. I think they could not agree with the people at the reception, so they were referred to my office that maybe MD can reduce for you. So they reached my office, looked at able committed team. I interacted with them. They showed me the way they are collecting money. And they told me that they have even formed groups, 4 groups. Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali. Those 4 groups, the one in charge is entitled to keep recruiting people to join. And at the end of the month, these groups present what they have collected and they go on into construction of their masjid. It was so amazing. I said now, the first thing, I'm not going to charge you anything about the advertisement. Par FM does the work of dawah. This one, at least we are going to make sure that we give you free adverts. Number 2, allow PAR, jokingly, allow PAR to be the 50th group. Let PAR FM be the 50th group. They said they had to clap. Join us, please. We joined them. So I called my team, said, please put the adverts of these people and say, those who are in the PAR group, send your money on our mobile numbers, ABCD. Mwari bato, you might have seen your mothers maybe doing that work. They started sending some money, little money, kumi bili, kumi satu. In a period of 2 months, 3 months, we found out that we had 25 millions. Within our language at that time, it could not click into our mind that anything here in Uganda, someone can collect 25 million, you take cash and hand it over. I told them to organize a function. We take their money. We organized it, went for Salat al-Jumu'ah, and as I was on the way, people started sending money. I remember one of them is the late Musa Katongole Itoda. He sent 2 million. Called, sent us Muzireka, because they have seen some transparency. Nobody could think a sentence about these people reading on radio could even reach to 5 million. But we mobilized it with all sincerity until the money reached 25 million. We took it. By the time we reached there, we had 30 million that we gave. Others came running on borders. Mitwala Abiri, what. Who presented it cash there? Because it was new into their ears. We gave it there, came back. In my car, this one you should know it, because most of you are going to lead such charity organizations and you will be among them. As we are coming back, I had the Sheikh Mahmoud Salim Warukaga. These young boys might be knowing him, one of the aged sheikhs, but still energetic. You can call him here to come here for khutbah. Mamu Kiriza za Uganda. And I had Sheikh Mastura na Kanwaj in my car with one staff. He died. He's called Shabani Menya. As we were coming back, a comment, I told them, Sheikh teka mweduwa. Twins of Utatuka office, amafuta gaweddemu. Sheikh Warukaga, what? Zino sente zendabyo wayo. Tosigazizaako wadde mitwalo 5 to put in fuel. I said, it wasn't my money. That one asked Mastura na Kanwaj. So, those are some of the issues that we should always look at. Though it was coming at the end, since we have little time, others I will be bringing them as we go on, that sincerity is always needed among the people that are entrusted to mobilize funds for our communities. I saw Sheikh Mahmoud Salim Warukaga shedding tears. It has never happened in my life. Senator knows what they do. It wasn't mine. When we were collecting money, I not asking to neither requesting my board that on this money there will be commission deducted to do this. We went back home. We had little money at PAR FM. Most of my staff who used to work, we could not pay enough salary. In the media there is little money. If you want to be rich, go there when you have gone to serve Islam. In the media. You go into legal services. So, in that experience, now public is aware I used to enter my office toward 6, have my prayers at Uganda Muslim Supreme Council. Par FM is near behind. By 6, I'm in the office. I always make sure that nobody comes faster in my office. Much as when you have a supervisor, never let that supervisor be first in your office. If he comes at 6, come 5 minutes before 6. Always be fast. If you know that you have a supervisor, make it a point. So by 6, I'm in the office. Around 6:30, my colleague, he's the headmaster of Chinawa, Kawempe campus, Serugo Muhammad. Now I can start mentioning a few names which you can know. Maybe you've gone through their schools, or you have gone into your school workshops and you have heard about their names. Came in with a certain lady with a young girl of around 12 years called Shanita. When they saw me giving 25 million, they had to know that a sente ziri ku radio par kirabika basenza bigere. Now they had come for 17 millions because this young girl had a heart problem and she needed an operation. It was to be done at Murago. Enviri zimuweddeko ku mutwe miskin. Serugo comes, said, now, Serugo, we don't have any money here. Even today, we don't have breakfast. We cannot even afford buying a kabaragara to feed these people you see here. Where can I get money to give you people 17 million? So, of course, they had mobilization we were doing on the radio, and it wasn't our intention to come back for a mobilization. That's an informal way I'm telling you, which we shall formalize and be formalized, and others will not be informal. Now, I called my colleagues, the management. I said I would talk to Serugo, then you talk to the mother. Serugo, I briefed my management. I said, let's give them 1 month. I know our people are tired. We have collected the money. Just in a week, again, we ask for more money. It may look queer. Say, let's give them 1 month. Even if we get 3 million or 5 million, we give it to them. Because I remember when we were mobilizing funds for Rugugum, it started coming in slowly. It needed a lot of explanation. Futale amaze okulabika. Nja kujjanga wano gye tugane twogane tubenga tumira malusu. So, at the end of that day, my management was so quick to understand, especially Sheikh Shabani Menya. Saba Allah musasire yo jali yatufaako. I said, let's mobilize. Even if 3 million, we give it to them, but we have nothing to do. 9 days. Hear this. This is the experience I want you people to get. 9 days. Sheikh Shaban, who was the program's manager, comes to my office. I had to know in my mind that is this 3 million, 5 million I told them. Nyebe tunafune 5 tuzibawo oba 3. Tuzifunye. Nye mugamba kati tumaleyo omwezi. What if we can reach at least maybe 7 or what? He said no. We have 17 million on our phone. People have sent money. Subhanallah. 9 days. I told him, now you go and stop our contributors. Tell them, Alhamdulillah, we have got money of Shanita. She's going to be treated. Why did these people give money? Now they saw some little transparency. These people did not know that I had to kusikira mukubo, no fuel, as I was taking 30 million money in cash, much as the other was in check, but I had over 6 million in cash. I could not pick, and nobody knew about that story, but Allah knows about that story. Why I'm bringing out this, I want to tell you that it is not the problem of these people who are giving money. It might be the problem of the collectors. That's the experience I want to give you. What I'm telling the academicians is not what I would be telling people in the mosque. No, yours is going to be different. I want you to take the experience, to master and know. Those who are very interested in the verses and hadith, I will give one verse and one ayah. You will go and read them in your library. I will give them at the end. So I told them, stop them. Within 3 days, bannange sente zituuse, bannange we have the money. You could see imams running with a huge of money. The imams who are always crying money to pay the yaka, to pay what? We don't have water. These are the imams now who are running, who have been entrusted by their worshippers, naffe to be part of the people of Par FM to treat shelter. The Sheikh Chizaza Tuwandege, I remember he brought something towards $1 million and so on and so forth. Running within those 3 days. In fact, imams, I could tell them, it wasn't. When our people hear about that, they may kill us. A sentence somewhere, let it treat. By the time we closed in those 3 days, we collected 300 and we collected 35 million within 13 days. The other one was 25 in 2 months. Now, in 13 days, it is coming to 35 million. Yet people keep saying, Tuagara kuwa. I went to Murago, I said, I have money, please operate. They said, no, Indians are coming, equipments are there, but we are waiting for these people. Chirunji wanaba medicine, is the biggest number. I don't know whether we have some medicine students. Boba vera busy tubagara kujja wano bagala kusala messe. I have many of lawyers. Any medicine student? How many medicine? Olaba bwe businga ino okubeera beautiful. Mama proceed. So, I went to Murago, met especially it's called Dr. Kadunabi, one of the specialists there at Heart Institute, Dr. Sebata. They met their dean. They said it's a bit. The Indians will be coming here like in 2 months. They have postponed. Yet the situation of the girl, we don't think that she can even go for another 3 weeks. She needs an immediate operation. So, let's give you the address. Go and write to this hospital. It's one of the best in Africa, in Sudan, and write to them to see whether they can do the operation that site. I came with the address. I'm a proposal writer. I don't write here later and turn them down. They have stopped writing them. We do explain to people. I wrote to the hospital, explained everything. Abazadde banaku, sente twazisonze ku ka radio, abatuwaddeyo ekikumi. I wrote to them. Put it on an email, sent the letter. At around 3, it took 2 hours. At around 3, the superintendent of the hospital calls me and say, we have seen the letter, we have received all the hospital papers. Do the following for us. 1, we are going to treat the child free. Just get her ticket and a nurse, a doctor, a nurse, or a medical officer to come with that child at the hospital in Khartoum, then leave the rest to us. We are going to treat the child. I wrote a 1-page letter, but you cannot read it not until you shed tears. Eyo mubimanyi. Mulina okusakira abantu bamwe. How do you write your letters? Format. What do you need to put there? So, she went. Out of that money, we used almost 5 million. The rest of the money, we treated people. There was a cancer person here at Chibuli called Isa. Everything, she used to move in town with her paper bag. Which much onanga chigwera mu paper bag. Bamu 7 million ton, can't afford. Kabivako alinze kufa. We treated many people. There is this disease, I don't know, they were around over 30 at Murago. Abana science babimanyi. They were obulwadde bafuna kuzaala okwo. Fistula? Something related to that. Yes, fistula. We treated over 30. And the function was officiated by the Minister of Health, by that time was Honorable Rugunda. We are building confidence into public, but for us, we are not aware. Now, we received a letter from Heart Institute writing to the managing director of Hajj Institute, the dean, the one in charge, writing to the Pearl FM to assist and sponsor the operation of Caroline. You see? A high institution of government now writing to a radio to do what? That's what they call sadaqah. Once you use it in the best way. We went on radio. Tugamba nti ono si musiraamu banaazituwa simanyi. No, we still had money, the balance of the other lady, of the other young girl, Shanita. We still had money. I wrote back. We have Caroline now. They say, Caroline, send Caroline. If she's, we have seen her papers, no problem. And again, Pearl FM, you are now our representative in Uganda. Whoever needs heart treatment free, just send that person to us. The controls. We may be thinking of mpayo mu makubo, amakubo jegali, but controls and how we manage and monitor might be a demoralizing factor. And at the end, we start abusing these people that they are not giving money, yet there is a factor that is rejecting them. People are willing. People are willing. There is one gentleman who said that any type of a vehicle needed by Salamu Charity he is ready to give. He has already given, he gave us a very new branded truck from the pond. Very huge truck. Recently, it got some problems as they were repairing it. He gave us a second one. Thinking that we are going to use it in that week, then we give it back to him. So when the other one came up and the one repairing it, not our money, he said, Nayo najiba wadde. Two huge trucks. There are so many trucks. So as I was wondering, he said, and when you need a trailer, 40 feet, it's there for you. A trailer, 40 feet, these are 20. The other one is 40, it is also there, come for it. I kept looking at the person, he said, we want to give, but we have always failed to get a channel where to pass our sadaqah. He's there. Now, that gentleman has given us the van, the Salam Charity van, you see. Called me recently. He said, you know that bypass, but what they were Ika, go and put up whatever you want. As I was wondering how to start it, he said 120 million are here, go and start with it. I know construction has to deal with a lot of transport. That's why you need much. The Sinotruck. They are called the Sinotruck. Sinotruck is there. The land is there. The man to start with is there. Why are people giving that? Are they so rich? Do they have much that they are giving? It is the system that we need to build from the grassroots. It is the experience. My experience I have. I said I must share it with you. With no aye yazono ngayagala mujjuze imani agenda tandika okuwaayo sente awo ojja kuzimpa nzinywe soda. So that is how it is. We treated those people. Now that was the time I was moving to start Salam TV. Starting Salam TV, I had to start with NBS, do some little programs, our program until they expanded. Now we had to get Salam Television. We did a lot at Masjid Mbogo. That Masjid Mbogo, we have given there over 1 billion. Your money, the little money. Some of you have numbers. You will ask these colleagues of mine who are here. You just give them your name. If you have ever sent even 500, you have an account in charity. They will Google you, they will give you account number. Whatever you send goes on your account. Even if you say, what have I ever given since I started giving charity? They will print your statement. You feel so much encouraged. So those are the systems we are creating for better accountability and transparency. For people to know. Mbogo tuwawa sente nyingi. We moved to Kabasanda Quran School, those who come from Butambala, you know our school. We moved there. We did a lot at that school. We put a beautiful building. The experience I need to give you when we are putting up that school is your grandfather to some of you and father to most of you. He's called Hajj Mutini. I want to give you, because we always mention the Uthman yagula oluzi birri yakola kino, Abubakar yaleeta emaali n'agimala, Uthman yaleetako ekitundu. So we want to mention our communities here in our experience to know that people are there. So as we are mobilizing community to bring money for Rukaru Quran School, after like maybe towards 2 weeks, he calls me, says, ontegedde nti nedda nze Haji Rutwama naye abasinga bampita Haji Mutini. Please, mbadde njagala nkulabe. I said, please tell me where you are. I said, I'm at my factory razor. We had to go there. N'agamba ekikumpisizza nsonga eri emu. Mbadde ku TV, sirabyeyo bagagga, ndabye abantu aba bulijjo, esente ze bawaayo ze zindaga nti bantu ba bulijjo. Muyinza okuba mulimu abagagga naye nga nabo bawaayo sente ki? I am seeing 13,000, wabeerawo awaddeyo emitwalo 5. Sheikh Shafiq Mafo awoganira ku TV nga awata kibiira. Muyinza okulowooza nti Idi yatuuse ddi the following day. So I have cancelled to go for Umrah. I've gone for my Umrah for the last 15 years. That's why I go for Ramadan. But for what I have seen, I am stopping my Umrah. All the money I was supposed to use for Umrah, put it at that school. Get a pen. I don't sleep in these houses, Ugandans, but I use good hotels. So we counted all the money. It was around 33 million. The man gave me the first biggest money since we started, 33 million. I thought it was a joke, but he said 3 things. 1, I'm giving this money. I know the importance of 3 sukas, the suke satu, the sanda. These clothes we wrap in our dead bodies. I know them. For the last 40 years, I've been going down, putting my colleagues there. I know what it means. That's why I'm giving this money. He's crying. Moreover, he knows what he's giving. Number 2, I want to attract, that's what I want most. I want to attract my fellow rich men. People don't want to call themselves rich. But for the case of Allah, he knows that I'm rich, and I know they are my fellow rich men who are not coming for this call. He said, I want to attract them. We went back on TV. By 3, I'm always there with my team, Mohsins and everyone. Started calling people. Where kasente, where kasente, where kasente. At around 4:30 towards 11, towards 5, I had to know that now the viewership is big now. It might be approaching Geyo Mukakade. Let me tell the story of the big man. I had to talk about, because he wanted to attract his fellow rich men. The following day, the first person to call was Mayambara was in the studio. He came in first, then I could come in last. The first man to call was Chirumira. Chirumira is not a Muslim. Nawulidde ku linnya lya mukwano gwange mpadde ensawo za sementi 10 mwaga enchamu zinone at my office. You see his need of attracting the rich men? In the same program, when I came in, I saw 1 million for the first time on the phone. Ningamba phone yekwata ku luba. Kwata ku luba tulete takbir. Mpulira esimu ezitowa. We shouted and shouted. Hardly to check on my phone in the messages. At times when we are busy at TV, we may not check into these messages. I found there the same man writing that tomorrow, okay, the same day, come at my office, pick another 9 million. When I went there, I found on the 9 putting 1 behind, meaning 19 million, which was 20 million. He said, I saw my brother, my friend giving money. I felt, why shouldn't I give? Why shouldn't I give? Mwabali wano mulina okwegomba okufaanana bwe kutyo oba olaba muno ng'awadde ensaalwa n'ekukwata. Even hasad eri embi, not like these ones. abategeera Allah waabwe ng'abagambe mu competingire ejjana yange bate mugiguzise sente zembawadde. Those are the type of people. Nagamba nti now had to go back to my office sweating. Ningamba essomero ndimaze. Sheikh Shafiq now calls me that there is a man I have found at Kansanga Kabaragara. He's called Nasa King. He wants to see you tomorrow at your office. Now, we went there too, waited for him. Our office is a bit high. These young girls always come to my office, they know where we are. We kept beeping down. Nangamba nti yatuusa ku City Oil. The 3 Mercedes-Benz entered. Ningamba wamoyo Nasa King gwaga. Which king? I know all the kings. I don't know the Nasa King in this country. Which region is he coming from? Mafe yutabitegera. He's a king. King, yes. The money comes. It is only that these Muhsin sabotage some people. They have also certain jealous somewhere. There is something I don't usually want to leave Salam TV. When you see it's a fear for those who do mass com, some we call them fears. It usually comes where you see him saying, this time not at all. He had a stick moving. This time not at all. He meant his friend Mutini. This time not at all. And that one we had now reached to another school. Now we had added the Nyamitanga school. We have expanded. This time not at all. He had to bring in money times that one of Mutini. This time not Mutini, not at all. We must give in money as Muslims. He gave us money. We had to take trucks and trucks to schools to build many schools, and that's how it came. King died. He's called the Chiyinji, but he spent most of his time with the whites in England. So the name Chiyinji, Neribatawanya Chiyinji. They were Kiyingi. So Kiyingi comes to be king. Now he's died when he was King Nasa, and the way he was walking, and the money Allah gave him, he was a real king. Now COVID, Saba Allah Musasir, up to now, even recently I was there, we are still distributing his sadaqah he had given to us, not knowing that he's going to die very soon. Tuchagaba sadaqah. We are not giving on his behalf, we are still giving out his money. He left when he had paid this translated Quran, over 500. Paid money, go and print and distribute in various mosques. Paid money to take to car to the other school of Mbarara, and so on and so forth. So we are still distributing his money. When he's down now, Furia, under the soil. Those are the people that are liked by Allah. Those are the experience you must know. Allah baba kwagade akutebesa mu bintu ebituufu. The way he did it a month to die, it's amazing. And even when he was at deathbed, he called me and stopped me. I was going to Rakai hospitals to distribute the mattresses and wheelchairs to Rakai hospitals. He said, don't go. Sagaro Koromorimo go, not in the field when I'm not with you. I must go. Allah yamuandika kemperas. In 2 days he died. Dying when he's doing the work of Sadaqah. Mugende musome Sadaqah chechi. Obwagala kuyita ebitabo byo. Osomye subject eganye. Gendo osome ku Sadaqah orabe. You give Sadaqah, you understand whatever you are studying. Ebikulemere the fees it is give Sadaqah. You get your school fees, you pay for tuition. Simple as that. Only that for us, such a formulas, we don't bother about them and concentrate to our understanding and the understanding of colleagues and maybe the guesswork we live in. But if you can assess yourself, how far you have come, you can really understand that it is mercy and the will of Allah that where I am. See the money you have got by plan, most of you, and the money just lands at you when you didn't know. When you make a balance sheet, you will find that the money just comes without your knowledge. It's bigger than this one you plan. Us, we have experience. The money just get aimlessly is the money, countless money. Countless money. I can't count it. Since morning as I was coming here, someone calls me that why? Do you know how much? You can't count that. How much is that? I had to delay and drop my passport at South Africa. People from South Africa now calls me. Jango tukyalireko South Africa. Twagala tukulabeko. Ngamanyi nti this younger brother yabadde ayagala nti mbakyalireko. Naye. So, such a kind of money. How do you get it? You know how to get it, but we don't want to use such a formulas that were left to us by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Those who know it, they know, and it works out. Before I leave that point, a certain lady recently, you were born, you were around, in Saudi Arabia, had level 4 cancer. You know. Now, Saudi is one of the developed countries. 2 children, 3 children, they are married, they have gone. She's alone in the house. Now they apply for the kadamas. These housemaids we take in Saudi Arabia. But these ones have started off recently. They usually want people from Malaysia. These ones who are going are very few. People who work with them, they mostly come from Malaysia. An advert was heard on the radio. A lady comes out, applied. She was taken, and lucky enough was taken into the house of that old lady that was sick of cancer. It's there. We saw it. We had it. I was mature enough. Now, the lady comes. She's shown everything. I'm aged, I'm sick. Just assist me. So, she could enter into the bathroom and stay there for some hours and could go there frequently until the old lady was concerned. Why? Ogenda nyo mu kinabiro. Is there any problem I can assist you? The young lady started crying. Said, so please calm down. Tell me what could be the problem. He said, my problem is one. I'm a very gannuma. I left home a 1-month child. My parents are aged. We are very poor. We eat once or don't eat. Now I decided to leave my 1-month kid with my aged woman. Even I'm the one who have been assisting her. Now the problem, breastfeeding. I am badly off. Now the sheikhs who are here will know, especially I'm seeing the lady, the aged woman had to remember a hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, the intention, the niyyah of what you give in sadaqah, the intention you have. What you give for, Allah gives it to you. Oli mulwadde oyagala kuwona, nze mpaddeyo Allah amponya bi ulcers bimalawo. Ekitutta ffe nniya zaffe tugezesa. Olowooza tekisoboka because so and so it didn't work out. The lady called the agencies that works on these kadamas, said get a first class ticket. I want this lady to move today because those developed countries don't just get ticket aimlessly. She had to get a first class ticket. The ticket of 700, now she's going to buy of 4,000. The contract of 2 years, she counted the salary of this young lady. Namuwa emyaka egi, nagamba go back, breastfeed watch. After 2 years, call me back. Call me back and come back and work. This woman says, when she was being interviewed, that she had not seen people that she would give sadaqah to. Now, she gets real people that she's supposed to give the sadaqah and feels that has gone to the people that is supposed. And extra money was given to her. She went. In a week, the ambulances comes, pick the lady to hospital, put into her to machine, the second machine, the third. The doctor is calling each the other doctor. What they are supposed to be see, they don't see it. Nababuza, are you surprised? What are you looking for? They say there are things we don't understand. She says, me, you know I'm okay now. There is a hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam that goes so and so and so, and I did it. Take me back home. I wanted also to come and just you prove me. I have already proved that I am okay. That woman was there. We have seen who always monitor Shafiq Mafo, always give that example of a cancer woman at Already Kampala who called us with the Shafiq. She's there, she's testifying. There is another one. So for us who are in this business, we know people who come and testify. But when I read a sheikh, you get the ABCD. There is a lady who came and gave me $500. Why? As she was on TV, Sheikh says, whatever you give, Allah multiplies by this. She was so much convinced. She was going for her further studies, and the dollars she had, which were not enough, she said, I need more money. Let me go and do sadaq of this money. Now, after giving sadaq, she was somehow known in government circles. Meet one of the minister who was the friend, says, oh, Ombuzeko, how have you been? So and so, I miss you. So many things we did together. Please come to my office. Najira envelope of $3,000 US. Sadaka ebisa 3,000 yasibira ku office. So we have such a testimony for those whose intentions are real. Ours, we miss at the intention level. At the intention level, netudda mu kugezesa. Mwana gezesa Katonda. Ojja mugezesa yakugezese nga bwe mugezesa. Nala yakawulidde nti kansooke mugezese. Wala nabluwannakum bishay'in min al-khawfi wal-ju'i. Aya nga bwegenda nja bagezesa. Mu buli ango yonna aba imaani ajja bagezesa mu imaani zammwe. Aba education ajja bagezesa mu education. Tajja kujja gwakugezese mu mwenge nga tonywa mwenge ate lwaki akutwala eyo akutwalira mu layini yo to make sure that is real person yategedde ekigambo kye bayita sadaka and intention nti yakitegedde. So that's how it has been moving by experience, and at the side of experience I would tell you that so many things have been done by Salam Television, and with birth of Salam Charity, knowing that Salam is a media, we don't want to antagonize so much with Salam TV, so we had to put an arm that would dwell so much on charity to make sure that really things are done in a better way. We have proof that we can do everything we can in our little money, and we could be in a position even to send money abroad to these neighboring countries, we Ugandans. We have proof that one person, a Muslim person, if he could come out and pay zakah, that zakah would cater for almost 10 to 15 districts. Only one person giving real zakah. And that zakah has not even touched and reduced any coin at his money, only to make sure that it is protected and expanding more. But they don't. So many people who have huge money on their account for communities and it is owned by one person, feels that even the banks are accumulated, they start sending money abroad. You just hear someone tells you that one, with that one you see, he has an account abroad that is $25 million. $25 million. You will get your calculator and calculate $1 million. The move it could go even to $4 billion. But someone having $25 million, $30 million, it is not only one account. He has streets of buildings here, one person, 2 kids. So there is imbalance into money. If people were so keen in giving zakah, in giving sadaqah, that would be so excellent. So I don't need to tell you what people have done into their sadaqah as an encouragement to you, but I would tell you that so much has been done in humanity. Ugandans, humanities, you have seen it all over the country. Ugandans are trying. Orphanages and widows, Ugandans are trying to make sure that they do a lot. Health, we are coming up to make sure that at least we put our sadaqah our zakah into health department. Then all that, as Salam TV, we are embarking into capacity building of our imams. That one we are doing it, capacity building of imams. It is so vital. Once we build their capacity in all circles, in management, their financial status, we are now trying. We have started a program of giving an imam 5 goats. And after 2 years, he proceeds and gives 5 goats to another imam. And we want to make sure that at least every month we don't come down. We proceed giving at least 25 or 50 to make sure that at least an imam in the period of next 5 years, we are sure that imam can be having something to do. If you are lucky, you not lucky, but to be committed on those 5 goats, we have calculated in 2 to 3 years, you are already 25, 30 goats. When you are in 30 goats, knowing that some in 1 year, they can give birth 2 times, 1 time, but at least you are sure in 2 years, 2 times or 3 times those goats. So when you have 30, in a year, you are sure of 60. And remember, they are the ones that produce 2. Now, 1 reaches 30, now it's in multiple. We hope in 10 years, the imams will be the best producers of now. Goat meat and other projects will be coming in. How do we reach into that? We want to make sure that our imams concentrate and make sure that they internalize into their work to reduce in the way of their hand being up like this. So we urge you people to be always accountable. Be accountable in your association, the money you are collecting. I have learned that you are trying to mobilize some funds to assist a certain orphanage. It has been done by you for some time. Thank you very much. Ready to come out and do such a work by your colleagues, a team of associations here. That's a great job. And one of your head, who is heading that project, who has even consulted him to make sure that you do something, is now loosening to start running to charity to bayambe. Our again okuvira, it is something that would be done internally. That's what we are training people internally. Even if Salam charity comes in, charity will come here to boost your voice into your fellow students, to make sure that the money to do that work comes from here. I will not start getting that 20 million in Zimbabwe. I'm now stopping you the system of building your capacity to mobilize among yourselves, to stop on some resources that would be nojja wano mu tax oyina 13 ebbiri zezikuzenga ebitaano kambiweeyo biyambe to these orphanages. That's what we are building into our communities. Never wait for money to grow. That I will first get my 100, even if you get 100, will not give it. You know the hadith of this Sahaba who went to Prophet in Sabira, ngagawale naga nakiddamu emirundi 3 naga binza okuta wange. Musajja n'abula n'agagawala ababuuza saa tamula yeri wansi mu kiko n'embuzi tezikyajaayo. Kiseera kituuka nabbi n'asindika abasajja mugende muggyeko sadaka azaka. N'atuuka nti zaka sawa kubawa munadda aya nekka purposely for that work. Alemedde sente aya nekka aya bwe yamutuukako yadduka agamba ya Rasulallah ezaka wuno omulezi n'agamba nti abo yaŋŋaanyedde okwata zakaawo genda ofaafaganiriza abo okugaana zakaawo njagwa ng'olina obukadde bwaba nga yabuzira ddako tokimanyi olowooza likusente olina ebizibu gwe mulwadde gye ziraga tomanyiiyo. When you don't spend it in the right way, Allah will spend it for you. Bakugambe nti omuntu atuuse okufa, saamu wano atuuse okufa ng'akozesezza $1,000,000 naye nga waali omulala ati neyewunzika ku mmeeza bw'ati nti afudde nga takozesezza yafulumya sente za Mungu azeetooleramu. Once we wait for him to come and pick it from us, zikulekako ebinuubule tova India naye kano akasajja keesaddaakira 2,000 3,000 akibira wale ne bamuwa panado naye for you have to first go to India. Bazeetooleramu. It's going. You know him, my great brother, my elder brother BMK. BMK, after knowing that he has cancer, basawo tebamugamba, they told him go to Japan. There is a certain hospital in Japan. They said, oh, let me go. Ticket musanga nawo nga yabuuse. He's rich. When he reached in Japan, bamutuuza, those doctors knows enaku zino wakyali byakukweka, bagamba ABCD in 2 years maasalam gendo lye ebibyo. Naye in the meantime there is a hospital in America but very expensive. They can do something for you, at least something for you, which is a bit bigger. It was a hospital in Japan. Onagamba kubogerako bamumanyi, it is expensive. He came back, former agikutte, he failed. Those people rejected. They say after feeling obugagga bwe, he's very rich in Zambia, Tanzania, Nairobi, he's a regional Mugo property man. You have to feel to show that you can pay those people. But when those people when they saw a form, I got ono bamudeclaring bankrupt people. Can't pay us. Let him be declared. That's the rich man we have here. Chikulagante bintu gyebiri. Akati fetwerwazirwaze tugaana okuwa saddaka tubirinde bitulumbe. Sigamba BMK byamulwaza muleeta nga example. Bamala omugamba, he knows now close it. Nakola ekibiina kye bayita tukoze tutya. As of now you would be on Zoom with them. There is Zoom now going on. Tukoze tutya of his family, n'atula n'abakyala n'abaana. He started something tukoze tutya. He started every Thursday kutuula n'abaana n'abakyala with Sheikh Mahmoud Walukaga Salim to sit in the sitting room and cry. Nga bayigayirira Mungu nga kye basigaziza kyokka. In a few weeks, a certain hospital, he's the one who started the association of the sickle cells. Nga abayamba yabayitanga mu Africana like 6,000 and treat them. N'abagulira obugaali, n'abatreatinga, n'abatera association, n'abanoonyeza obuyambi. So he got some partner hospitals in the USA. Kati bamuyita in a conference to go and attend that conference. He told them, I'm dead. Narwara, cancer, level 4. He said, we have a good hospital here. You can come, we'll see what we can do. He said, which hospital? So and so he said they rejected. They said, I don't have money to pay them. They said, please send your forms you filled to us, that hospital. Now it is that hospital that took BMK's papers there. Then he was invited to go and be treated. What I want in this story, BMK wasn't treated because of his money, his richness, because the richness had rejected him. It is because of his sadaqah of the sickle cells, and the sickle cells hospital in the USA came in to stand in to see that really what has been doing for the other, but it is not them, it is Allah, to make sure that BMK is treated. BMK for some good years he could go to Haram, Makkah, and do his birthday there. That day they told him he will die on this date. Those Japanese, the 2 years, he had his birthday at Haram. The second year he went there. Like 5 years he was around. But among the people, those who managed to be on Salam or any other media when we are burying BMK, you heard what people were talking about him on Sadaqah. Even at deathbed, the last week he was in Nairobi, he used to get some allowances, weekly allowance on his phone. He could get his book, start distributing money. The money that was attached to him as BMK, he didn't leave even a single coin. So there's this and that. Those are the type of people. So, my children, let me wind up by saying the following. That spend in Allah's way corresponds with the depth you have in love with your Allah. If today you want to measure your relationship with Allah, see the way you give in to the way of Allah. That's one of the critical measurement tool. Time and money, always use them to measure where you are, the status, the relationship with someone. Because a friend you have, you feel that you want to spend more time with that person than spending time with someone you don't like. When we parents reach home, you find children are spending more time with mother than more time they spend with us. Meaning they love the mother most than the father. So, if you want to measure your position with your Creator, with your Allah, who created you without making an application, please judge yourself among those two things. It is time and money. Money is put in things you like most. However much the dress is expensive, olw'okuba okyagala emitwalo 3 ojaga kwatogateeke mu lugoyi because you love it, you like it. But to the dismay of most of us and you, Allah is always given leftover. Kunoonya kasente akakadde ak'olukumi, okunoonyayo ak'ebitaano, leftovers. But when you go into the life history of the Sahabas, wherever they could harvest ekibbe ky'ente ekisinga okulabika obulungi nga tebanalya ku first go to the Prophet for sadaka awe abeetaavu. That one, we are not doing it. When you come to our grandfathers here, I want to dwell so much here, you find that there are so many things our grandfathers gave to Islam, including this hill where you are, including the hills at Old Kampala, including hills at Kawempe, Jumazukuri. All these lands you see, a few of them that were given by the government. The one that was given by government is this one at Old Kampala, and it was forced by Amin recently in the 70s. The rest were given by our grandfathers. They gave in what they like most. Allah tebamu were leftovers. See what we are doing to what our grandfathers did, what they left for us. How much are we adding? The much we can do. Akataka kano tuteekeko omuzigiti. Omuzigiti netukuba enduulu. Naye nga those people put up masjids. There are some areas we go to break a masjid and put a new one. But to break the masjid, what our grandfathers and fathers put, Allahu Akbar, the real concrete. They had good intention. They had good niyyah. They didn't want to give Allah leftovers. So, judge yourself, my dear brothers and sisters, towards that, your time and money, how is put to your Allah. Lastly, now this is the ayah which I told you that I'm going to give and go and read to yourselves. This verse must be the last. Surah Sabah, this is verse 39. It says, whenever you spend in Allah's work, He will replace it. Aya mugiwulidde? Sawongedde mu kigambo ekyange. Allah atugamba nti whenever you spend in Allah's work, He will replace it. Now, ekyo nkikulekedde, do interpretation on your own. Now the prophetic hadith which is last. The prophet says, fasting is protection from evil. Fasting is protection from evil, and charity extinguishes sins like water extinguishes fire. Hadith ne ayi mwagadde mwaziyenzi basomere kati nyemba wadde ebisembyeyo to thank you for your time. I know what you are going through. Your colleagues, some of you might have missed a lecture, but you say maybe you will get notes. This comes once a week. You can't miss this one. And I don't think that you will ever regret for such a gathering, and keep encouraging your colleagues. For us, we shall keep available, and when they keep growing, Mohsin is the head of content at Salam Television, is the manager. He can allocate At times I think he comes here for Dr. Warusimbi and some other few sheikhs. I don't know whether they sit here. I usually see something resembling this. He can allocate this space in Salam TV to make sure that the rest of the community benefit. And I encourage you to proceed, inshallah. You will win. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, alladhi wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Hajj Kaliisa, on behalf of IUIU, on behalf of Dawah Committee, on behalf of the Thursday Darus program, allow us to thank you so much for the wonderful words that you have given to us. Amongst them, we have learned that no matter where we come from, no matter what our background is, we can still make it. As long as we trust Allah, as long as we believe, and as long as we do whatsoever we do with a lot of faith and patience and trust, everything is possible. Our backgrounds do not define us. Allah can change a person that has come from the worst background to the best, or to become and share platforms with those that we call the greatest. We thank you so much for those words of encouragement, and we have indeed learned. We have learned a lot how to spend our money. We have learned how to give in. Currently, we are running a program as the Dawah. We were approached by New Midland Islamic Orphanage, it is in Luero, with over 500 orphans. They came to us. They say their children are starving. They have 1 meal a day. So as Dawah, we said, let us mobilize. Let us collect whatsoever that we can and make sure that we can go and share with them. And now, with such a message from Al-Hajj, we have now learned the importance. Some of us have been doing it, but not with now that much love that we are now going to do it with. We now know that whatsoever we are doing is very serious work that we should take seriously. So I call upon all of us to take these words seriously, and let us actually go and share with our colleagues who are not here. Allah has a reason. It was why out of over 1,000 students and out of the many Muslims that are in IUIU, and the many that prayed and the many that got to know about this program, why it is you who is here. Don't take it for granted. Some of you miss lectures. There are those that actually didn't even have lectures and were doing nothing, and they were just moving up and down and were just seated somewhere gossiping or doing whatsoever. So Allah has that reason why it is you that is here. So I thank you all so much for coming, and I call upon you all to encourage those other people to always come here. Hajj, whenever we call you, we pray that you respond. And we thank you so much for sparing your time to come in here. On that very point, I ask all of us who are here, whoever has anything in their pocket, we are still mobilizing. So far by this morning, I was informing my bosses, I had collected about 580,100 shillings, which I handed over to the dean. And that is our collection of last week. And we started actually on Monday. So I call upon you that we proceed. That money is still too little to feed over 500 students or pupils. So that's why every platform we now get, we try to collect. So I will ask the ladies, can we and the gents, whatsoever we have, doctors told us.
We start.
Thank you so much. Bismillah, we have started. So with anything, 500, 1,000, scholastic material, everything, let us all contribute towards this noble cause. They've told us that indeed Allah is going to reward us and grant us the best. And this money we have learned, we must account for it. We shall indeed get the best. out of it. Otherwise, thank you so much. I pray that Allah rewards us abundantly. Assalamu alaikum wa
So you said you have
rahmatullahi.
500.
Yes, we have 500,000 that we've so far collected.
If you had maybe 5 million, charity would give you 10 million. Now charity is going to give you 1 million times 2. I always give whatever I find. So it is that 500 times 2 that will give you 1 million to add on that.
Now, barakallahu fikum, takbir, wa takbir.
If I only had 3, I would give you 6.
So now, this is really challenging to
Now you
us.
have 500, I give you.
And it is also a lesson to us. Now, because they've found us with the 500,000, they've multiplied it by 2. And now we are getting 1 million from from Salam. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah for that. That is a milestone. It will haunt us. It is going to hurt us as the dawah, because we shall be like, why didn't we collect now a million or 5 and we get times 2 of that? But again, at the same time, it is also encouraging. It shows that indeed this is a blessing from Allah. Wallahi, we weren't anticipating to collect that million. Actually, Hajj, we were like, maybe we could get like 1 million and we use that to feed those children. But now Allah brings 1 million on top of what we have. So we thank you so much. We thank Allah, and we shall proceed doing whatsoever that we are doing with a lot of love and passion. As I conclude, allow me to thank Hajj and Salam. Out of the very many lessons I've learned, you've spoken of something that is very important: capacity building of imams. At one time I was sharing with a colleague, he's a Catholic. So he challenged me, Hajj. He told me, do you know that in the Catholic Church our priests are rich? We never come to collect small monies. I hear to pay bills of water and so on. But you Muslims, every time your imams are broke, your imams, when they remove their shoes, their stockings have holes. In a mosque, you will find a mosque. The imam will raise up and say, we have a bill of water of 20,000. Please let us collect. But even still, we shall collect just about 10,000. But that comes from capacity building.
Yeah.
That if our moms have been really informed, if at all they've gone through this training, they will know how to really manage a mosque, how to bring up developmental projects that benefit. It is really discouraging. Every time when we need something, the imam to raise up, I need transport to go here, I need to pay this bill. Yet we have land. Yet these imams, we can put up businesses that benefit the Muslims, and we don't have to always stand up and seek for anything. So that is really a wonderful program, Hajj, and we really thank you so much, and we pray that Allah enables you to really proceed with it, and may it be effective, because that is the best way we can go and also promote Islam and develop it. Otherwise, thank you so much. I remain Mugoya Ashraf Harid, the Dawa Mobilizer, and also the Deputy Treasurer of the Dawa Executive, amongst the other positions that I hold in the university. Thank you so much. I pray that Allah blesses you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.